Hello, I'd like to share with you a great little product that I found that replaces a great little product that we lost a little over 20 years ago, and that was Tester's Red Putty. This Bondo glazing and spot putty is terrific, and it's almost exactly the same as the Tester's Red Putty. It can even be mixed with the Tester's cement to give you a thinner putty, make a little slurry out of. If you're going to do that, I would recommend probably not less than 4 parts putty to 1 part cement. Otherwise, you've just got red glue. But anyway, this stuff is great. It lasts in the tube forever. This is the tube that I'm currently using right now. This one is almost 4 years old. I'm just finally finishing up on it, but it's still viable. It's still terrific. In my opinion, this is so much better than Squadron Signal or Tamiya putties. This feathers beautifully on plastic. It's meant for metal, and it does work good on metal. I don't think it sticks quite as well. You've got to rough up the surface a little bit and clean it if you're going to use it on metal, but it still does a decent job on metal. I'll give you as a quick sample here. I've got a piece that this was an area that I gouged down to make a nice divot area. And I put it in there, and hopefully you can see that that's feathered in. I don't have any rough edges on that. I've got a couple spots here that I've filled, about an hour ago, which for time frames, putting this on, I'd love to leave this sit for at least an hour and a half. If you're just using a thin skim coat over a light scratch, an hour is good enough, and you can sand it off. If you're going with something deeper, I'd let it sit for at least 2 hours. But, you know, as a modeler, we've got to getting. So this does work really good on short time periods. We'll go ahead and sand these off. I think I've got some 320 on the back of this here. Wet sanding. And a quick wipe. So I ran across this stuff I was extremely disappointed when Testers stopped making their red putty. And anyway, I ran across this in a hardware store. It runs right now, I would say it runs about $6 a tube, but that tube will last you for years and years. Got another sample here. You can see we've got a gouge right here that I put in that I'm going to go ahead and fill for you, show you how easy this is. I've got another one that was roughly about the same size. We'll go ahead and sand that off too. This stuff works so good. My problem with Squadron Signal or Tamiya is that they never feathered. They never became part of the plastic. And so you were always dealing with an edge. Hopefully this will show up. You see there's no edges. That is just part of the plastic. It's just blended in. By the time you put paint on that, you won't see it. And this takes paint beautifully, just like the plastic. You can use acrylic, enamel, lacquer, doesn't matter. You can use a primer, don't have to use a primer. Let's put a little bit on here, and I'll show you about filling up on there on this and show you how nice That works. Like I said, this tube right here is almost 4 years old, and you see how well that just smooths out. Just like that. And that thick of a coat, I would give that probably about 1.5 hours to 2 hours to dry, and then you're ready to sand it and have a beautiful paint job afterwards with minimal work. Again, this is available in hardware stores, automotive stores. I've got the tube, the other tube I've got says it's step number 3. Apparently they've taken out one step, but whatever you got, it's 907 is the model number, and it's Bondo glazing in spot putty. Try it. I believe you'll love it. You probably think that's the best $6 you ever spent. Thanks for listening.